if you do not have soil, you do not have food, you do not have water, you do not have biodiversity and all the other functions of soil.
So organic carbon has a big role to play. In this project we focus on carbon farming, for mainly the effect of carbon on the climate mitigation. But there is also a big win-win situation, because at the same time the soil quality will improve if the organic matter content of the soil will increase.
The European Union has issued a carbon removals and carbon farming regulation to not only incentivize the adoption of sustainable management practices, but also support the achievement of climate neutrality by 2050. Temporary carbon removals and soil emission reductions should be quantified with a high level of accuracy to provide reliable estimates that would help farmers increase their faith in voluntary carbon markets.
I work in this project mainly on data acquisition from remote sensing and on the modeling of the greenhouse gases and the effects of carbon farming.
The project has successfully identified available in situ data and developed remote sensing indicators. Those indicators have been assimilated into process-based models at both sub-landscape and landscape scales. Specific developments have been carried out to improve the representation of ecological processes in models that simulate carbon balance under different management and climate conditions.
What inspires me most is to see how the PhD and the postdoc progress, how gradually we convert to come up with a solution.
In Fantappiè, which is nearby Florence, we have a long-term experiment which is running from 1996. So we are studying different management practices dealing with cultivation of mice. We have effectively found out that so-called minimum tillage, which is no more ploughing, so no more moving the soil, so no aerating the soil, can really effectively store carbon. And we have verified that we can also monitor and model this variation using modeling. We put the input of the biomass that you have from the crop, from fertilization and so on, and then you model the stocking of this carbon in the soil. And we have seen really that this stock has increased having minimum tillage compared to conventional tillage. We have a positive impact on the climate change, so we mitigate the climate change. And at the same time, the soil organic carbon content improves the fertility of the soils.
What really excites me is exploring how social innovation and inclusive approach can make research more impactful and play a real part in shaping resilient society and contribute to build a sustainable future for all.
Several workshops and multiplier events have been set up to both understand carbon farming barriers and enablers and to improve stakeholder engagement.
I also really evaluated the opportunity for interdisciplinary dialogue, bringing together social scientists, soil scientists, carbon farming experts, technology specialists, carbon farm markets, consultant, demoscene leader, to try to tackle the main challenge of the project together and not with the silos, separate silos.
This is an international project in which we are working for I don't know how many countries all over Europe. We are also working with different kind of environment and the land uses, and so for me, it's interesting to see also how this implementation of the carbon farming can go from one land use to another completely different.
To be part of the Mission Soil Cluster is truly inspiring because it offers a great mutual learning space where we can share experiences, but also tools and solutions on the stakeholder engagement with other European projects.
All in all, the results of the project have contributed to high-level policy discussions to draft the methodologies of the carbon removals and carbon farming regulation.
is somehow hidden. We walk over the soil and we do not appreciate how much is important for our life.
Yeah, I'm glad that the policy has picked up this issue in the recent years because for many decades agriculture was dominated by yields and use of machinery, fertilizers, and now people start to realize that these are not sustainable solutions.
It's important to leave European project not only as a funding experiences, but to try to put together the accumulated knowledge and experience that we had from this and the learning, not only on the success but also on the failures.